Sri Sharda Devi and Her Divine Play, Chapter 26, page 479. One night at Jairambati, Holy Mother talked about the active and the contemplative life. Brahmachari Bharada said, Mother, Swami Keshavananda says, labor hard to fulfill your duties and then you will achieve everything as ordained by God. Holy Mother replied, No doubt, you must do your duty. It keeps one's mind in good condition. But it is also necessary to practice japa and meditation and prayer. One must practice these disciplines at least in the morning and the evening. Such practice is like the rudder of a boat. When a person sits for prayer in the evening, he can reflect on the good and bad things he did during the course of the day. Then he should compare his mental state on that day with that of the previous day. Next, while performing japa, he should meditate on his chosen ideal. In meditation, he should first think of the face of his chosen deity and then meditate on the entire body of the deity from the feet upward. Unless you practice meditation in the morning and evening side by side with your work, how can you know whether what you are doing is desirable or undesirable? Bharada said, Some say that one achieves nothing through work. One can succeed in spiritual life only through japa and meditation. Holy Mother responded, How do they know what will give success and what will not? Does one achieve everything by practicing japa and meditation for a few days? Nothing whatsoever is achieved unless Mahamaya clears the path. Didn't you notice the other day that one person's brain became deranged because he forced himself to do excessive prayer and meditation? If one's brain is deranged, one's life is useless. The intelligence of a human being is very precarious. It is like the thread of a screw. If one thread is loosened, one becomes crazy, or one becomes entangled in the trap of Mahamaya and thinks oneself to be very intelligent. One feels quite alright. But if the screw is tightened in a different direction, one follows the right path and enjoys peace and happiness. One should always remember God and pray to Him for right understanding. How many are there who can meditate and practice japa all the time? At first, they earnestly practice these disciplines. But like their brains become heated in the long run by constantly sitting on their prayer rugs. They become very vain. They also suffer from mental worries by reflecting on things other than God. It is much better to work than to allow the mind to roam at large. When the mind has free scope to wander, confusion comes. My Naren, Swami Vivekananda, thought of these things and wisely established institutions where people would do work without concern for the results. In April 1919, at Kolpara, a devotee received initiation from the mother. Before returning home, he asked, Mother, what is the secret of spiritual life? In reply, Holy Mother pointed to a small clock and said, As the timepiece is ticking, so you go on repeating God's name. That is the way you will find fulfillment. You will not have to do anything else. Holy Mother emphasized japa and meditation to her disciples, but she also reminded them that devotion and self-surrender are the keys to attaining God's grace. She said, We have practiced so much japa, we have observed so many spiritual disciplines, but nothing whatsoever is of any avail. How can anyone get liberation unless Mahamaya clears the path? O man, take refuge in God, take refuge in Him. Then alone will Mahamaya be gracious and pave the way for liberation. Once, Surendranath Sarkar asked Holy Mother whether Prarabdha Karma, actions performed in the past that bear results in the present, could be counteracted by repeating the name of God. The mother replied, one must experience the result of Prarabdha Karma. No one can escape it. But japa or repetition of God's holy name minimizes its intensity. It is like the case of a man who was destined to lose his leg, but instead suffered only from a thorn in his foot. Jai Ma.